Are you dreaming of lake life without having to move hours outside of Omaha? If you are wanting to boat, fish, watch that sunset from your dock, I have 4 fabulous communities that are just outside of the Omaha Metro, just west of Omaha, and we are going to talk about them today. My name is Morgan Putnam, and I'm a local real estate expert in the Omaha Metro, and we are going to talk all things lake today. Let's get into it. Thank you for watching the Omaha Insider YouTube channel. Please take a moment to subscribe so you are the first to hear about what's going on in the Omaha Metro. Okay, so first we're going to talk about where these are all at. We are looking at 3 lakes that are in Valley, Nebraska, which is about 10 to 15 minutes outside the Omaha Metro, depending on where you're going to go, and then one that's in Waterloo. They're all very close together, and most of them are fed off of the water that sits underground from the Platte River. All 4 of these lake communities are part of DC West schools, which are in Valley, Nebraska, and are beloved. People love these schools. The first lake community we're going to talk about today is Bluewater. Bluewater is a newer development, and it started being developed in 2016, so all of the homes are relatively new. This community is a community of large homes. It was a part of Street of Dreams in 2016 and has over 250 acres of water. So that is a large lake, and it is a sand bottom. So it was excavated out, which all of these lakes were. They were excavated out and were a sand pit, and then water naturally rose from underground and filled the lakes. So this community is just about 12 minutes outside of Omaha. You can easily work in Omaha and live at Bluewater. That commute is very manageable. There is not a grocery store in Valley. Recently announced Family Fare is coming to Valley, so there should be a full service grocery store soon, but right now there's only a Dollar General. So for groceries, you are going to have to go into Omaha for all of these lakes. Anyway, back into Bluewater. So these are modern homes, and some of these are second homes for folks. So there are people that live out at this lake full-time, and like full-time residents, and then also this is some people's second homes. It is like the new-fangled lake cabin. It is not necessarily homes of like cute little quaint cabins. These are all large homes. The average size for a home out of Bluewater is somewhere between 4,500 and 5,000 square feet. All Bluewater homes have to be built on slab, and so there are no basements at Bluewater. Everything is built on slabs, and every house to meet code had to have a storm shelter built into it that is all concrete. Bluewater is a wake lake, so that means you can use a speedboat and create a wake and pull skiers and surfers behind your boat. It also allows jet skis. The HOA is $950 a year, and you have access to the lake, obviously, and then also there's a little bit of a trail around Bluewater that kind of connects to Ginger Woods and Ginger Cove. The HOA is also responsible for maintaining the health of the water. There were only 12 homes that sold in the last 12 months out at Bluewater. The average sold price was $1.5 million. The range was from $900,000 to $2.6 million, and that $900,000 home was not actually on the lake. There are just a few lots on the outskirts of the lake that aren't connected. There are 4 slips for those houses to be able to have boats that are next to the gas pump. The beaches at Bluewater are all sand beaches, and so you do not have a seawall. You just have a beach that goes right into the water. One of the things to think about with Bluewater is that since this is new construction, there are not mature trees out here, where compared to Ginger Cove and Ginger Woods that we're going to talk about later, this definitely feels like a new construction development, and you are still going to be living in a construction zone. There are plenty of homes that are still actively being built in this community. Next up is Ginger Cove and Ginger Woods. These 2 lakes are just to the west of Bluewater. So it's about a 14-minute drive into Omaha from these 2 lakes. One thing to think about with Ginger Cove, that is the bigger lake of the 2. Ginger Cove, you can be very deep into Ginger Cove, and it can take you a while to get onto the main highway to even get into Omaha. So that can really affect your drive time into the Omaha Metro. Ginger Cove and Ginger Woods were being built up starting in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s for the most part. Some of these homes have been torn down. New construction has been built on the lots, but this is more of your lake cabin vibe. These homes are not necessarily gigantic like they are at Bluewater, and it offers more of the nostalgic lake cabin from the yesteryears. Some of the homes on Ginger Cove and Ginger Woods are on little coves, so you don't necessarily have a ton of waterfront like you do at Bluewater with every single home. Some of the homes are on the big parts of the lake, and so that can kind of determine whether you have a seawall or an actual sandy beach. There is a big part of the lake that is a wake zone where you can surf and pull skiers, and they have set jet ski hours, so there isn't as much crossover between the boats and the jet skis. And then there is also a part of the lake that is a no wake lake. Because these two lake communities are older, the trees are much more mature, and it just offers a different feel than what you're going to get at Bluewater and West Shores, which is the last lake community I'm going to talk about. One of the interesting things about Ginger Cove and Ginger Woods is that all of the homes are on a land lease, and this is set to expire at 2037. So originally when it was developed, the developer only offered a land lease, and then a while ago, the HOA bought up ownership of this and then are slowly paying it off, so then they will own the lot free and clear starting in 2037. Ginger Cove is 86 acres of water, so it's quite a bit smaller than Bluewater. So there were no recent sales in Ginger Woods for the last 12 months, and there were only 3 sales in Ginger Cove over the last 12 months. People hold on to these houses forever, and they're sometimes passed down to their family because it is just such a beloved lake community. The average sales price in Ginger Cove was anywhere between $550,000 up to $800,000, and these are quite a bit smaller than Bluewater. They're around that 2,500 square feet. There's a small stretch of the lake that has townhomes developed, which is kind of cool to offer a different option for people to live on the lake. They can live in an attached townhome and still have access to the lake and the natural beauty of the lake. So the trail for Bluewater connects to the trail that's at Ginger Woods and Ginger Cove, so everybody gets to share this awesome nature trail that goes through the woods. The HOA at Ginger Cove and Ginger Woods is $1,050, and that includes all the common area and maintaining the lake. Ginger Cove and Ginger Woods also share this amazing playground and green field space. Next up, we're going to talk about Flatwater. So this is just to the east of Bluewater. This is the newest lake community that we are talking about. It started in 2021, and it was a Street of Dreams in 2021. These homes are quite a bit smaller than Bluewater. They're around that 2,700 square foot mark and are around 4 bedrooms and 3 baths. The lake is around 80 acres, and it is a wake lake. So you can pull people on a boat and create a wake, and they also have set jet ski hours. Flatwater allows you to build houses with basements, and some of the basements are on walkout lots, which is pretty nice. Some people really love being able to have a walkout, especially with the beach. Then people can come in and out through the walkout basement, and it is a sandy beach. It's not a seawall like some of them are at Ginger Cove and Ginger Woods. The HOA at Flatwater is $600 a year. Flatwater is still being built, and so you can still get a non-builder attached and a builder attached lot. The average sold price at Flatwater for the last 12 months was $800,000. So Flatwater is quite a bit more affordable than Bluewater, just because the lake is a little bit smaller. Lastly, we're going to talk about West Shores. So West Shores is a lake community that is just west of Omaha. It is quite a bit closer to Omaha than the ones in Valley. West Shores is technically in Waterloo, but it still feeds into that DC West school system. These homes were being built between 2003 and 2013. So obviously the recession happened in there. So a lot of people were holding on to their lots and not necessarily able to build. That is why there is a large range for when these homes were being built. The homes are very large. They're around 5,800 square feet on average. It's not unusual for these homes to have up to 7 bedrooms. This is a pretty large lake similar to Bluewater. It's just over 200 acres of water. So it allows wakes and jet skis. The HOA per year is $850, and that includes common area maintenance, and they also have like an amazing playground for kids and an event center that residents can rent out. West Shores is starting to get caught up in some of the sprawl of Omaha, so it'll be interesting to see how it changes and develops over time. Right now, they do have a restaurant that is right in a part of that community. It's called Salted Edge, and people absolutely love it. The average sold price in the last 12 months at West Shores was $1.38 million. Okay, that was a lot of information. So just to recap, Bluewater is kind of like the high-end, luxurious lake that is still being built on today. Ginger Cove and Ginger Woods are the nostalgic cabins of the past, and people are really dumping a lot of money into these cabins, and some of them are being torn down and new construction is being built, but there's still just a different vibe at Ginger Cove and Ginger Woods than at these newer lakes. Flatwater is that more entry-level price point to live on a lake, and then West Shores is kind of like that luxurious from the early aughts that is super close to Omaha. If you're thinking about buying a lake house close to Omaha, please reach out. I'd love to help you and connect you with the right lake community for what you're looking for. Again, my name is Morgan Putnam, and I am a local real estate expert. My number is 402-720-9886.